Welcome to Duo Chats with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I am Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 2, episode 20. The title is called Reunited. Air date May 12th, 1999, and the synopsis is
With Dawson and Joey back together, he decides to take her out to a romantic dinner. But Mitch and Nicole are also there, and the restaurant that they're at also ends up with Jen and Gail there. So everybody's just there apparently. Um, so then Dawson and Joey attempt to reunite Gail and Mitch after Nicole walks out from the constant arguing. Meanwhile, Andie begins to fall into insanity when she begins changing her hair color and begins having encounters with her deceased brother Tim, while Pacey and Jack catch on and try to confront her in her current mental state.
so. Did you like how it started off?
Yeah, it was nice.
The whole group in Dawson's room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a nice change.
I felt like though Jen and Jack were kind of just like the oddballs out because there's the two couples and
Mm-hmm.
then them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how they ended up all together.
Well, and then they were talking about how close they are, and they're all hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And Jen said they grew to tolerate each other.
Yeah. And Pacey called them a clique.
Yeah, and then wasn't it Jen that said 90, they're like almost like 90210, best friends forever. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god." And I can tell you they do not feel like 90210 best friends forever.
Right.
Do you think does it feel like they're that close?
Well, I don't know because I never really got too far in season one of that show, so I'm not really familiar.
Well, but I'm just saying this group. I'm not saying that
Oh,
group.
no, 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 definitely
This
not.
group that they're
No.
so close.
Nope, nope.
No. A lot of them hate each other in the group, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah, but then they did end up having a pillow fight at the end.
Mm. All I noticed is the mess. Oh, well, I was a cleaner, so
Yeah.
I just see a mess going on.
Mm-hmm.
And who's gonna pick that up? Because I know it's not gonna be any of them.
Well, if anybody, it'd be Dawson, probably since it's his room.
I was talking about behind the scenes. I wasn't talking
Oh,
of.
yeah. I don't
They can
know.
make all the mess they want. Nothing. They're not cleaning it.
Yeah, I'm sure who's ever in charge of the sets probably has to do it.
Yeah, they were probably really annoyed. Like, do one take
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to clean this again.
Right. And have to like restuff the pillows or whatever too. So.
Yeah, and there was a lot in the pillows.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever have like feather pillows?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Did you?
No, my grandma did.
Mm.
I always like get poked by the feather.
Yeah. I just could never imagine they'd be very comfortable.
Well, they're soft, but
Mm-hmm.
like if like the stem picks
Yeah.
out of the pillowcase, I'm like, ah,
Mm-hmm.
it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, I mean, they were soft. And then, as they're all going on and on, then Pacey said, "We are this far from the peach pit." Oh my God. Once again, like, they're so obsessed with 90210.
Mm-hmm.
And they never really talk about watching it. They just talk about who's up back on the show.
Right.
Or, okay, isn't this the third reference? I feel like this is the third reference
Um,
of 90210.
yeah, if it was counting these two times here, yeah, because
Because the one Pacey talks about
was Luke Perry.
Luke Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one was no, it was who was back on 90210. I think they
Oh.
said Luke Perry was back on 90210 again. Like it was a different episode. So this is now like the third time they've referenced it.
Mm. 'Cause,
Okay, somebody was obsessed with 90210. I don't know which writer.
right. Because that wasn't on the same network, right?
Well, oh, yeah, well this one was what, WB?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they were on Fox. I thought they were on like a big network, 90210. Or shall I say Beverly Hills 90210.
I'm not getting an answer right away, but yeah, because you don't really see too many shows reference other shows, especially from other networks. So I was just wondering.
I don't I don't think they were on the WB. Yeah. Because I knew 90210 was on
There we go. Yeah, it
the
was
WB.
Fox. Yeah. Original was Fox. So yeah.
Ah, see, that's right. It was Fox Network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Fox had Beverly Hills 90210
Right.
because they were a big network
Mm-hmm.
and it was a big show.
Yeah.
But I know that 90210, the reboot, which obviously was way after this,
Mm-hmm.
no, they were on WB.
Yeah.
But yeah, because WB had a lot of the teen dramas.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess because I don't know if it was because it was an Aaron Spelling production. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Fox is the one that picked them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just did not think they were WB
Yeah. You think with all the
because WB is
mentions.
too little.
Yeah. You think with all the mentions, they would be like hinting at maybe a guest star from that show on
Oh my god, I would love
Dawson's.
to see.
Even if it's like playing themselves,
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
yeah, it would have been, wouldn't it?
Well, you know better than me. I haven't seen the rest of the show yet.
That's why I said it. If only one of them would have showed up, it would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
But I think by the time their show ended in 2000, I'm sure they're probably done.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't want to be recognized.
Yeah.
Or at least they didn't want to do like a project that, would bring them back to
Mm-hmm.
what they were known for.
Right.
Even though I feel like if I was an actor, I wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're getting paid. People are watching, so it's not bad, you guys, to be recognized. I'm just saying, for the celebrities, it's not bad to be recognized for one thing that made you a star. And I'm not talking about Beverly Hills. I'm talking about any show
Mm-hmm.
because there are people that do not like where they start. Like they act like they didn't start there. And the truth is, everyone starts somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
whether you like it or not, whether you played a bad person or not. Like if your character was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like people that had like really good characters on shows, they're like cool and proud to be from that show.
Mm-hmm.
When I mean that show, I don't mean Beverly Hills. I mean any show that's out there in the world. And it doesn't even have to be a teen drama. It could be any show. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure in your head you have probably a handful of actors that have that they don't really care to talk about their shows.
Yeah. I don't know. And
What?
well, I don't know. I know some actors like to just keep things in the past. I don't know. That's just how they decide.
But you don't think that's stupid?
I don't know. I really don't think about it too much.
I know, but we're talking about it because you brought on bringing a Beverly
Yeah, because they were
Hills
mentioning
cast
it.
member.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm saying is that they should be proud of where they came from on any show,
Mm-hmm.
even if they played a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that was the third time they referenced it.
And then later at school, that's when Jack and Pacey see Andie's new hair color.
Oh, that was a good scene.
Yeah. Now I already
Only
saw.
because of the boys.
Yeah.
They were funny.
I already saw Andie with that new hair color before the different episode that you showed me before, but I kind of forgot, so it was like a shock to me too. It was just funny because Pacey was just like, "Wow," and
The new hairdo episode that I show you.
um, or was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. Yeah, I already got mixed up already. Yeah, so
I
but
was gonna say she only has this hair for a couple episodes.
yeah, well I didn't know that, but yeah, it was the same episode. But I still forgot anyhow because it's been like at least what a good
Over a year.
year, yeah, a year and a half since I saw this. So like I knew the bigger plot, but like her hair color was like the least of my memories, in
You
my head.
didn't know she was a blonde and went dark.
No, because I was this the only episode you showed me? Oh no, you showed me Dawson's birthday party
Yeah,
too.
but
She
she
was
was a
blonde.
blonde.
Yeah, like I said, so much else is going on in the show that hair colors don't really stay, at the front of my
So
mind.
okay, so what did you think of her changing her hair and the boys seeing her hair?
Yeah, it was funny. Because Pacey was like, "You just don't look like you," and she
She
takes it
still
that,
has the same face.
yeah, she thinks that he doesn't like it and, is kind of mad. And then it was just funny because Jack was trying to back him up, about her hair color. And, that's when Pacey like brings up about, wanting to take her out. And she says that no, she has to study and take care of her mom.
Have you ever gotten a haircut and somebody doesn't like it?
No, just because I never got a haircut drastically like that. Well, once, but a very long time ago.
Have you ever cut your hair like
Yeah.
short?
Yeah, once when I was about 7.
Did everybody like it?
Yeah, as far as I can remember. I didn't like it, but yeah.
Did you choose to get the haircut?
Yeah, because I just wanted to try it out, but then I regretted it instantly. So I was like, oh, great, now I have to wait till it grows back. But yeah.
Well, because in 5th grade,
Mm-hmm.
I decided that summer to get my hair short.
Mm-hmm.
It was like to my ears.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely above my shoulders.
Was that at the beginning of the year or?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I'd always get a haircut before school started.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say I remember I was so excited to show my dad. And I got out of the car, and my dad looked at me and said, "What did you do with your hair?" And my mom's like, "Don't you like it?" And he goes, "No." But it was like hard for him to say no, but he was just like, and I'm like, "You don't like my hair?"
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't wait until I grew back.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't change it that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I was a sophomore, or we're going to sophomore year. And I ended up getting highlights. And my grandma was so mad at me for getting highlights.
Why?
I guess that generation, you didn't really color your hair. I don't know.
Like
But
that young or?
yeah, she told me I was too young, even
Mm-hmm.
though I was 16.
Yeah.
That I was too young to color my hair. And all I did was put highlights. It
Mm.
still my natural hair color. I just put some blonde highlights in.
Yeah, a lot of people did that back then.
Yeah, well, she didn't like it. Little did she know, like, the next year, I actually put more highlights in. And then, as I got older, I really dyed my hair.
Yeah.
And now I'm like a strawberry blonde.
Mm-hmm.
You know why I went strawberry, right?
Because you already had that hint of it in your hair.
Yeah. Well, for some reason, when I was little, I was blonde.
Mm-hmm.
But, that darker tint. Well, then, when I was in high school, it was brown.
Mm-hmm.
And, so nasty. So then I was like, I need something light and cheerful. That's what made me change to go with highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I was just tired of putting so many highlights in that it ended up, I don't know. I don't know if it was like the water or what, or if it was just my natural hair from when I was a baby coming back to it being reddish.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I ended up having reddish hair apparently when I was a baby, like that tint.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back as an adult. And so I just changed it to red. Well, because I had blonde, but it was so hard for them to try to like get rid of the blonde that they were like, I don't know if we can. And so I was like, go with the red tint. It looks good. But it's weird, like when somebody's like, oh, you got red hair. I'm like, no, I still feel like it's still blonde.
Mm-hmm.
Blonde, reddish.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody just the other day said I was like a redhead. I was like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really call myself a redhead, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll just go with it.
And then Andie's at her locker the first time she saw her brother.
Yes.
Yep.
So did you remember who that was?
Yeah, I just didn't remember the first time being on her locker. That the first time was in
Like
her
at
car.
home?
Oh, yeah.
Well, because she saw him at home too, but
Right, yeah. I know, like after at home, after that she did too.
well, because I feel like the big part was
Mm-hmm.
when it was at home.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes.
I just forgot that small moment there.
Did you think that her brother looks like her and Jack?
Not really. And I was thinking about the age gap too, because I know their mom said that he was in college, so I don't know if it was like early into college or later, but he did look kind of like a bit older than them,
But didn't they say it was like, okay, didn't Pacey at some point, when he was talking about her hair, when they were arguing, didn't he say something about like 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Or she said, and I'm like, okay, so Tim died 3 years ago.
Right.
Maybe he was a senior
Yeah.
in college. So he was what, 22 maybe?
Yeah.
So and then put 3 years on that's 25. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
he's 25. He's supposed to be 25.
Yeah,
And they're
so
still in high school.
yeah, so she did like her subconscious did that like
Made him older.
automatically. Yeah, to make him look older as if he were still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um and also um did I don't know. Well, okay, so when you go to Dawson and Joey though, cuz you end up seeing them outside.
Mm-hmm.
Joey was pretty funny when she said that they're boring. And
Mm-hmm.
when he goes, "When you say we, you mean me." I'm like, "Well, let's just go with that."
Yeah, I knew you liked that part.
I was like, "Okay, but okay, here's my thing with this though.
Mm-hmm.
That was her problem in season 2, episode 1.
Yep.
That was her problem was they were boring and all they did was watch TV or watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she yapped about.
Yep.
Remember, she wanted something more.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back to he's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't they just say he's boring?
Well, he did in this one.
He
Yeah.
did, but writers, you know he's boring. Why you got to throw these two back together and have the same argument or, disagreement that you did at the beginning of the season? He's boring. We get it.
Yeah, and then before that, he even said that I do try to make our evenings as spontaneous as possible. But I was like, when?
What?
Yeah,
What does he do?
yeah, like when exactly?
What, when you take her out to the movies?
Mm-hmm.
Because you actually have to, walk there?
Yeah.
Maybe that's his idea, is going out
Mm-hmm.
and actually having to walk and not into your bedroom.
Yeah, and buy concessions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when he tells her that he made reservations for their 1 month anniversary of whatever he said.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even seem like it was that long either. 1 month
Yeah.
or
I
whatever.
just thought it was funny when he called himself boring.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite parts of the episode.
Yeah.
Well, he's finally saying it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, Andie, I mean, I don't know if this is next, but it's next on my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't write every scene, but Andie is in her therapy session. My thing is, I thought, wasn't it just a couple episodes ago she took the medication?
Yeah.
So I'm really confused. I thought she was on medication. Remember, she went to the store to pick up her medication. And she lied to Pacey and said it was her mom's medication when she took it into the bathroom and put the pill in her mouth. And now her therapist and her are talking about her going back on her meds. I thought she was on the meds.
Well, that same episode you just mentioned before, that's how Pacey confronted her. He found the bottle with her name on it, empty bottle in the trash can. So I'm thinking whenever that was the last bottle that she took.
But it's weird because I just thought she was on it. It
Yeah, it's been a while.
confused me
Yeah, it's been a while, so.
because she was acting different.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah.
Remember, didn't we just talk about why she's seeing
Abby?
yeah, Abby? Because I don't remember, it wasn't is it too much on her meds or something? And now we're finding out she's not even on her meds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think it's just,
But how come they didn't tell us that she wasn't on her meds?
I don't know. They just didn't think about it.
Lordy.
Yeah, it just has to be the combination of Abby's death and not taking her meds that's affecting her right now.
Well, because it's not like she just chose not to take them. Her therapist said, I think we should talk about you starting your medication again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I didn't know she was on, or that she stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least if she did stop, I thought maybe she chose to stop on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Because just like before, she thought she was better, so she stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started taking them again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was just the same scenario.
Yeah, I think it is. It seems like it.
Yeah, they don't tell you anything about these characters, what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's something big like this.
Yeah. And not much happens before that. Just, Jen talks to Gail about Mitch and everything and their
Oh, yeah,
relationship.
that's why it was just kind of boring.
Yeah, and then,
I mean, Gail was nice, but...
Yeah. And then, really, it's just before that was important that, Dawson did make his reservation at the restaurant, but since he put it under his last name and then Mitch made the reservation for him and Nicole under the same last name, they got the bookings messed up, so now they're stuck at the same table.
Mm-hmm. Um, what do you think of Jen living with Dawson and his mother?
Um,
And then I have a question for you after you answer.
okay. I thought it was kind of a surprise because at this point, him and Jen weren't really that close anymore, like not even as friends, really.
Yeah, but where's he gonna go?
What do you mean here?
Or him?
She? Yeah,
Where's she gonna
yeah,
go?
yeah, it's true. So they had to
I know
put
you
her
said
somewhere.
Dawson, so I was just thinking him.
Yeah, they had to put her somewhere.
Well, she's not friends with Joey,
Mm-hmm. Or Pacey.
right?
Yeah,
Or
so
Andie.
and plus he's right next door too, so it's just like the closest place too. So.
And I'm sure that her parents somewhat know the Learys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess the best part would be to put her there.
Mm-hmm.
But so my question to you, and you're not gonna like it because I'm gonna talk about consistency and all of this, but we keep finding out that it's basically a 2-bedroom house. All of a sudden, it's what now, 3 bedrooms?
Yeah,
Because Jen is not sleeping in Dawson's room, so
I
she
was
must
thinking
have
about
her
that.
own room at the Leary house.
Right.
But yet, all of these people that come over that they don't know, like Billy,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't get a guest bedroom. He gets Dawson's floor. Does that make any sense to you? If you have a stranger coming over and you have an extra bedroom, you're going to probably put them in their room, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
But now, all of a sudden, Jen, who you know, gets her own room.
I guess that's what they're just going with. I mean, she has her stuff too, so that has to go somewhere. Can't be in the
Okay, but
hallway.
but the house looks big,
Yeah.
but then in season 1 they act like there's only 2 bedrooms. Oh, Billy can't sleep anywhere but
Mm-hmm.
the floor.
Yeah.
And then now this one, Jen gets her own room. Oh dear gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless we just didn't see it and like maybe she was on the couch, maybe even. I don't know. We don't really see where she
Yeah.
sleeps, so
I know, but
it's hard to say.
yeah, but her stuff isn't in the living room.
Yeah.
So she probably has her own room.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, because I can't imagine her even putting herself with Dawson, so.
Yeah, no. But the Learys aren't that smart, so
Mm-hmm.
they would do something stupid like that.
Right. And then
Oh yeah.
well, I could say with Andie in her car after
Oh
her
yeah, go ahead.
therapy, that's when we like really see Tim talk to her because he didn't talk to her before because it was just in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's like, "Did you tell her about us?" And she's like, "No." So like it's trying to make like the
That she has
audience,
a boyfriend,
yeah,
or that she's cheating.
yeah. Because I went back to make sure that we didn't see the passenger side empty before she walked in, but sure enough, they like were kind of zoomed in and they had that group of kids like walk in front of her car, so you couldn't see the passenger side anyways. By
Mm-hmm.
the time she got in, so I thought that was clever of them to do that, shot it like that. Then also another inconsistency is that she's driving a whole new car now
Oh, she was.
than she did when she hit Pacey. Yeah. Now she's in a red Jeep while before she was like in a like a creamish convertible when Pacey hit her. So I noticed that. So I'm guessing that they must have sold her car and traded it in, to get the
Mm-hmm.
money,
Yeah.
That's the only explanation, but I was just surprised they didn't like mention it or something.
So, what did you think of the car scene?
Like I said, it was good how they shot it and everything.
Well, how'd you like how like the ending of that scene? She like hugging her brother,
Mhm.
and I'm like, you know how weird that'd be like to walk by and she's literally hugging nobody.
Yeah, I thought of that
And then
too.
she's not like falling over. Like,
Yeah.
okay, think about it.
Mhm.
You're not hugging anyone. Wouldn't
Mhm.
you fall over?
Yeah, or like yeah, lean against the passenger
But
side
she
seat.
wasn't. She was
Yeah.
full on hugging him, leaning on him.
Yeah, I know.
Like, why
Yeah.
didn't they tell her lean against the seat or something?
Yeah.
Like, because in real, like, you're not hugging anybody. You're hugging
Mhm.
him on the show, obviously, but in real life, you're hugging nobody. You would be hugging, you'd fall.
Yeah, I
And then
thought
you'd
about
probably
that.
wake up from that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't still be just full on hugging him.
Mhm.
That made no sense. At least hug the seat or something to make it, I don't know, seem like you're, I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah. Like I said, they planned that out perfectly at
But
the
why didn't
beginning and
they
then
tell her
not
to
till the
do
end.
something
I don't
different
know.
besides hug him?
I don't know.
Be like, remember, he's not real.
Yeah.
Ugh,
So the only thought about the beginning part of that scene.
probably. Yeah, they were doing good and then it dropped from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when Jen is picking up the pieces of
Pieces of what?
wood for the fire because her and Gail are sitting on the
Oh.
couch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I have something with that. Okay. So she picks up those sticks, pieces, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They are so big for the fire. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
who thought of that? What did you do? Cut down the tree just now? And then she brings them in. Okay, keep in mind, where'd she go to get these pieces outside?
I guess.
I don't know, but she comes in and you have to, okay. Anywhere you go, there are bugs, okay? I know that. You know that. Okay, we're not stupid. You were supposed to make me believe she's bringing them in and just gonna set them right there on the floor, and the bugs aren't gonna come off of them. Really? And then she doesn't even put them in the fire. She puts them right in front of the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they tell her to put them in the fire?
I don't know.
Like, I have fires all the time. If I'm going to get a piece of wood, I'm not going to set it there
Mm-hmm.
if the fire needs wood. I'm going to put it in the fire. And also, there are bugs that are on the wood. I'm sorry to tell you, but there are. Bugs love wood.
Yeah, obviously that's where they usually live. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Not
why would
underground.
you bring the piece and put it right there on the floor?
I don't know. Who, like, the director just didn't really think of the small details when it
See,
comes to this kind of stuff.
and clearly there was nobody on set that was like me.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I guess not.
no show, not just this one, but none of the shows would have liked me.
Mm-hmm.
They'd probably fire me. Don't you think?
I don't know.
Because I'd be like, that's not right. That's not right. You're not thinking clearly. Yeah, they wouldn't like me. But it bothered me. I'm like, why didn't she got a whole thing and then she just puts it right there.
Yep.
And like outside, if I bring extra wood, I put it in like the wheelbarrow. And if I'm putting it inside, I'm not just throwing it on the floor.
Right.
I'm putting it somewhere
Mm-hmm.
inside.
Yeah.
It was just weird. And then how big the pieces were.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really going to burn that well
Right.
because you actually you have to have them smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know from having fires, big pieces don't really burn that fast.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. But then in that scene, what does Jen hear?
Um, just that.
Or she smells.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because they're talking about signs, and that's when Jen said smoke, and Gail's like, "No, that's a big stream," and she's like, "No, like I smell smoke," and that's when she's,
And then it was like beep beep, like the alarm.
yeah, she was cooking something, yeah, yeah, that was funny.
Mm-hmm. I like that Gail and Jen are, getting close.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
It's nice to see because Jen needs a mother
Mm-hmm.
because clearly her mother is AWOL.
Yeah.
Did they ever tell us like what her parents do for a living?
Nope. Not that I
Because I
know.
know we've never seen them, but it's
No.
just weird how they never even say what they do for a living.
Something New York.
Yeah, must be some fancy.
Yeah, it has to be like some kind of jobs that takes their time away
Yeah,
from
do you
Jen,
think it's
and
something on like Wall Street or something?
yeah, not pay attention to what she's doing.
Yeah, it can't be like where you come home and actually cook dinner. They
Mm-hmm.
probably work like all day and probably all night
Yeah.
since she's always gone.
Mm-hmm. And then at the restaurant, the four of them are stuck together: Dawson, Joey, Mitch, and Gail. I mean, not Mitch and Gail, Mitch and Nicole.
Was it weird that Joey was sitting next to Mitch
Yeah,
and then Dawson was next to the teacher?
right. I think because they had to have Dawson and Nicole kind of be across from each other to talk like that.
They weren't across, they were next to each other.
Well, I mean, just have that eye contact, like face to face, kind of. Because if he was sitting next to Mitch, it'd be kind of like her head would
No,
be
it would have been
turned.
more of an angle.
I don't know. That just how it seemed to me. That's why
I
they
just
did
thought
that.
it was weird because I'm like, I don't know, when she put the girls next to each other. Okay.
Well, I don't know, because that probably wouldn't have been a good idea because Joey was starting to go at Nicole for going on about Dawson's movie.
Well, she was doing it for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, because Nicole was like saying how she can set up a job for Dawson in Hollywood, and
Okay, so did you like that Nicole was bringing up his film career at the table in front
no,
of Mitch and Joey? And it's not like, it's not really a dinner thing,
mm-hmm,
especially in front of his father and girlfriend. I
right,
don't know if you, especially if you're his teacher, wouldn't you tell him that in school?
right,
I don't know. It's just, couldn't there be more to talk about?
yeah. I think she just brought it up like about giving him a job to like impress Mitch, like show him that she can get along with Dawson and all that.
I can be his new mommy.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's got one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, not much was really going on there.
Mm-mm.
It was just arguing about Hollywood and working and all that. So
Well, and then who walks in to the restaurant?
Gail and Jen.
Now, I have a question.
Hmm.
Um, okay, Gail and Jen walk into the restaurant. It looks like a fancy, expensive restaurant.
Hmm.
How in the world does Dawson have money to pay for him and Joey? And also, Gail is taking Jen to an expensive restaurant?
Yeah, well, I just figured Dawson, we don't know exactly, but he has to be working at the video store, maybe still, even though it hasn't been shown or brought
Talked
up for a
about?
while. Yeah, so maybe he just saved up from that. And then, but what I didn't believe
But
is
why
that
is Gail taking Jen?
just for a night out together. But the thing is,
Okay, if there's
if
no
it,
other restaurant
yeah,
that they can go to,
I
why
know,
would you go to an expensive restaurant?
just to treat themselves. But the thing is, if it's a fancy restaurant like that, how does she even get in that same night
I
after
know.
deciding to go?
Well, yeah,
That
because
was a
when,
thing for me.
well, and when Dawson goes, remember, they had no other tables for them
Yeah, and he made his reservation 2 weeks in
ahead of time.
advance. Yeah.
Yeah. And clearly so did Mitch.
Mm-hmm.
There was no room for them, but
Yeah.
yet Gail, there's room for her.
Unless at the very last second someone canceled, but that's really unlikely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, why is Gail taking Jen to an expensive restaurant? It didn't make sense to me.
I mean, she does have the money. She has that job.
Yeah, but they're not like, I don't know. It's not like you've known her forever where you're like, oh, I'll take you out. I'll show you around town.
Yeah, I don't know. She's just trying to be nice and, like I said, treat themselves.
No, it's because they wanted them all at the same restaurant. Let's go to the French restaurant. And I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What in the heck were the servers serving Jen?
I don't
It
know.
looked like wine.
Yeah. The adults just don't really think about, you
The
know.
adults, the people on or the people that are the writers and directors,
Mm-hmm.
they're, even though the actors may be over 21, does not mean their characters are 21.
Yeah, well, she definitely wasn't. She's
Yeah,
actually the same age as Jen.
but I'm just saying that why would they have the characters have wine? It's fine for the adults, but they're not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does that
I
make
say
sense
that
to you?
I say that a lot in shows and movies with fancy restaurants.
Yeah, but does that make any sense to you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I went to a fancy restaurant. I wasn't offered wine, and if I wanted something, I would have to show my ID. What the heck? And
Mm-hmm.
I am way over 21.
Yeah.
So that would not. No, it just doesn't sit right with me. That server should get fired. But was Dawson and Joey drinking wine too?
I don't think so. I didn't really pay attention
But
to
yeah,
that.
well, when the server brings over, or the waiter brings over the
The bottle,
wine,
yeah.
yeah, he pours it. I thought he was pouring it in Joey's cup because
I
it
don't
was
know.
next to Mitch
Mm-hmm.
and Joey. But I thought it was Joey's cup. Like I thought he was gonna fill everyone's, but they don't have time to show him filling everybody's. It just looked like they're about to fill everybody's, and I'm like, man, what is up with this show? But literally, Jen is drinking it, so it's clearly wine. But that's just my problem with the show. So I don't know if it's a scene after, but Gail and Nicole are in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, of course, it is so TV for them two to walk out of the stall at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
What did you think of it? Weren't you like, it's so TV or movies sort of thing where they walk out?
Yeah, that was very predictable.
Yeah. Because something's going to be said, so they have to have them come out at the same time just to have a discussion.
Yep, and Gail was like, since I got here last, I'll just call it a night. And that's when, Nicole was like, well, yeah, that would be only fair to Mitch. And then Gail at the last second changes her mind, said that she'll let Mitch decide what's fair to him. I thought that was a good comeback.
I was like, you go, Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you've bothered me a lot lately, ever since episode 1. At least now she's trying to somewhat fight for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because, she really hasn't done that. She's
Right.
just always made it poor me, poor me. Well, guess what? This episode, she finally wasn't poor me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with this episode, we just keep going back and forth from the restaurant to Andie's house. So there was a time before that where it's at Andie's, and that's when she was the beginning of it, when she was watching TV. Then she goes downstairs to the kitchen, and then that's when Pacey comes down and overhears her, and they get into it about who was she talking to and everything. And then that's when we do hear Andie call Tim Brown, and I hadn't even though I saw this episode, I still couldn't remember why she called him that until later on when she said that was her favorite color, and she couldn't say Tim, which I didn't really think that was such a hard name to say when you're younger.
Tim.
Yeah.
1 syllable.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but I guess, yeah. I don't know, she could've maybe called him
T.
T.
I was
Yeah.
thinking the same. I was about to say it because when you said it wasn't that hard. I was just like, what about T?
Yeah. So
Because
Brown
it's not
was
like
just
you have to say.
random.
It's not like you have to call him Timothy.
Mhm.
You have to just say Tim. But if Tim is too long for you as
Mhm.
a child, you can just say T.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But Brown, that's
Mhm.
even a harder name.
Yeah.
And also, have you ever really met any like little kids that their favorite color is brown?
Nope.
I was like, that's news to me.
Mhm.
It's always pink or purple if it's a girl.
Yeah,
Or
well, brighter
blue.
colors, yeah.
Yeah, or orange or yellow. Like, it's never brown.
Mhm.
What the heck? Like, mine has always been blue.
Mhm.
It's just weird. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh, no. Girly, girly, girly.
Well, no, more girly would be
Because people
pink.
always just think girls love pink or
Mhm.
purple. And I'm just like, and as a kid, like my room, my mom made my room yellow. I'm like, I
Mm.
don't even like yellow. So when I was a teenager, I made it green
Mhm.
and blue.
Yeah.
Oh, and then what's funny was my mom's like, "You're a terrible decorator," and so I made sure that the green and blue worked.
Mhm. Yeah, they do.
Oh, did you have a purple room?
Mhm. I still
Yeah,
do.
see,
I still do, yeah.
mine's blue. Would you guess that?
No. I mean, I would've. I wouldn't have been surprised if it was. I'm just going through my notes.
Oh, so at the table, we're going back to the restaurant. At the
Yeah.
table, Jen asks Gail, "Do you have a Mitch have a song?"
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, Jen!"
Mhm.
Little setup.
Yeah.
Then what happens?
And then we didn't even hear what the song was, but a song does start playing, and then that's when I think not Gail, Mitch walks over and asks Gail to dance because at that point Nicole had went to the bathroom from the whole conversation, I think with Dawson, I believe.
Well, Dawson or Joey getting after her.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was Joey.
Because that was funny. Because it was funny because Joey told Dawson, pulled him aside and was like, "Hey, be nice. Like, we'll kind of like watch what you say." And then Joey just going right after her. It was good. Oh, so then when Mitch and Gail are dancing,
Mm-hmm.
Mitch says, "Thanks for the wine." And Gail goes, "Wine?" And then she looks over at the 3 of them, Dawson, Joey, and Jen. It was funny. And
Yeah.
then, oh, yeah, right. And then she starts playing along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
he told her it was mature.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah, so I'm going through my notes, and Nicole did leave because Joey called her bitter.
I thought she was going to call her a bitch.
Yeah. I feel like if Mitch wasn't there, she probably would have.
I was like waiting for it. I mean, it was a B. I was just waiting for the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Mitch like chokes because he was trying not to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
which just made me laugh. What did you think of their dancing?
It was nice, and then at that point, that's when Mitch started saying like, "Oh, Dawson's gonna miss you," and all
Yeah,
that when he was really talking about himself.
referring to
Yeah.
himself. I mean, what's he gonna do? He can't say he's gonna miss you. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
quit using Dawson and just speak.
Yeah.
That's what was in my head.
Mhm.
You all need to grow up and just start speaking to each other. If they
Yeah.
both miss each other, it looks like they need to have the romantic dinner and talk because clearly this isn't doing it.
Mhm. And then it did look like that Mitch and Gail were gonna kiss when they were dancing at the end of the song.
Yeah, they were so close. And then Gail, oh, the song is over.
Mhm. Yeah, so they sit back down at their tables, and Nicole was already back at theirs, hers and
Well, of course, how
Mitch's.
long does it take to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Plus, she already went when Gail was in the bathroom.
Mhm. I'm just kind of surprised she didn't say anything. She just kind of sat there
Well,
with
no, she like
Mitch.
looked
Yeah,
and
looked
then
at him.
like
Yeah.
looked away. Yeah, they looked so awkward
Yeah.
sitting there, and they weren't even sitting next to each other. It was just awkwardly,
Yeah.
which I was happy about.
Me too.
Um, and then we go back to Andie's house,
Mhm.
and then
That's
you want
when
to say what happened? Yeah.
yeah, Jack got home too, and Pacey caught him up about things, and then that's when Jack had mentioned that he had heard her talking to herself too.
Well, because Jack comes in and he finds the lamp broke and the
Mhm.
pictures, and Pacey was picking him up at the time,
Yeah.
and then that's when he's like, "What happened?"
Mhm. And then that's when Pacey mentions Brown, and then that's when Jack instantly knows who she was talking about, and but he didn't tell Pacey because
Well,
Andie had walked
yeah,
down
before
at
he
that
could,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, and explains herself, but then she locks herself in the bathroom, and then
Okay, yeah, and then Pacey says, "You have to choose," and Jack goes, "What are you doing?"
yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, well, Pacey was smart to do that, trying to get to her
Yeah, but
level.
Jack was funny when he was like, "What are you doing?"
Mhm.
Like you're about to mess this whole thing up.
Right.
Did you want to go more into the scene?
Yeah, it was just Pacey was just really, doing his best, and he was like I said, he was smart to talk to her like that because sometimes to have a breakthrough, sometimes you have to get to the person's level to get them to come out of that episode, and like make them, feel less um manic than they already are.
And alone too. I'm
Mhm.
sure she feels really alone
Yeah, and it just
with
reminded
her
me of
thoughts.
yeah, it's reminding me of the same time when Pacey did the same thing with her mother at the market too.
Yeah, making it seem like this is just normal.
Mhm.
Yeah, because then Pacey said, because when she was talking and then, she said Tim was in there. And then Pacey was like, I believe you
Mhm.
that Tim's in there.
Yeah. And you just see how much it was hurting Pacey to see Andie like that
And
too.
Jack wasn't saying a dang thing. I'm like, that's your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't Jack say anything?
I
I
think
feel like Jack would know more what to say
mhm.
going through it with his mom and sister than
Mhm.
Pacey.
Yeah.
I guess because Pacey's the main character, so they have to make it him do something in the episode. But it just seemed like, I don't know, like if it happened to like me, I feel like my brother out of anyone, besides like your parents, I feel like your sibling would be able to say more than your boyfriend.
Mhm. Yeah, well, maybe for Jack it was just overwhelming because he did say it.
No, I think it's because of writing they want Pacey to say it. I'm just saying, you should be happy I'm saying that.
No, I'm just saying from Jack's perspective because I know what it's like to have an intense situation. So I'm just saying that maybe Jack was getting overwhelmed because he did tell Pacey that that's kind of how their mom started out. So he was kind of like he couldn't handle with it like happening all over again, and he just was kind of like probably in denial of it, like he didn't want to go through this again. Because like if Andie, gets sick too, then he's just completely alone, and he didn't want that either. So he just kind of
Ignored it.
everything's just like crumbling down inside of his head, so he's not really entirely present in the moment. That's why it was good that Pacey was there to have like backup to help him.
All I'm doing is looking at you.
Like I said, just from experience, I know what that can be like.
But it was sweet that she came out and then he grabbed her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you could tell in his voice he was worried
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
he was stuttering. Like
Mm-hmm.
his voice was shaking, not stuttery, but yes. I was like, oh, like the best acting out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're gonna agree?
Yeah, that scene was good.
Didn't Josh do a good job acting this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's all I get.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Sorry, Josh. All she said was, mm-hmm.
No, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything from my notes. Because once Andy's asleep, that's when Jack talks about calling his dad to get Andy help.
Yeah. And then Pacey says, why?
Yeah, like maybe time could help her, and that's when I said that Jack doesn't believe that will help, and he saw the same thing happen with his mom, and yeah, so he looks upset remembering how it felt to be helpless to help his mom, and then that's when Pacey agrees to let Jack call his dad after all.
Well, and then Pacey did tell Andie, my life began when I met you. That
Hmm.
was so sweet.
Yeah.
And you could tell in his voice it was true.
Hmm.
That's all. Mm-hmm.
No, I wrote a lot, so I'm just trying to skim to see where I put about that. Because that was the last scene, right? You're talking about.
I don't know where it was.
Um, yeah, so because that's when she woke up and Pacey takes her hand and she says she's scared. She doesn't know what's going to happen to her. She doesn't want to lose him, and um, Andie says that they said they love each other and that he's not going to lose her, not ever, and
The
then they just
irony
hold
of
each
it,
other. Yeah,
they're going to be together forever.
but in the moment, it seems like we don't know because
I do.
yeah, Jack has to talk to his dad, so we don't know what's going to happen at this moment. And then Gail thanks Jen for giving her a sign. And then tonight made Gail decide to stay in Cape Side until she saw Mitch with Nicole. But didn't it look like he was like ending things between them with the way Nicole was looking?
Mm.
It did to me. So I thought like maybe he was like saying like after tonight I want to try things with Gail again. I think that's what it looked like. But then Gail like left right away, so she didn't really see what was going on.
Yeah, but Gail and Jen were talking
Yeah.
about how like she wants to think about like staying and like because she thinks she has a chance with Mitch.
Well, yeah, she said that she felt like she does and that he wants that too. And then that's when she sees them together.
Okay, now I have a problem with this scene.
Hmm.
So we're supposed to believe that Mitch and Nicole just made up that quick and are all lovey-dovey all over each other. I don't believe that. Didn't you see him at the table? Okay, from
No.
just the table
Hmm.
to there.
Hmm.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It looked like that he was ending things with them. Like,
Well, they weren't even speaking. He went and sat down and they didn't even really look at each other. It
yeah, I
was so
know.
awkward.
I mean, the
And
last scene.
now these two are everything's good between Nicole and him.
I think he was just like walking her home to be a gentleman, and that's when he was like telling her like that was it for them.
I don't believe it.
And then just the other scene was just Joey and Dawson staying in the boat together, and they were talking about having sex, and
My
then they decided to
God.
wait. Yeah,
Oh, I bet you liked it.
I didn't really care for it.
Well, you're Dawson and Joey fans, so
Well, it looked like they were doing the boat. I'm like, that's the worst place you can probably have sex in a boat like that, especially your first time.
I wanted them to fall over.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like, if anything, Dawson would be the one falling out.
Why is that?
He just seems clumsy like that.
And big.
Mm-hmm. Like the weight. Yeah, the weight would just have him fall over.
Okay. When he was going on, and then she told him to row,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was still going on about it. He's like, "Oh, so you thought about it?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I wanted her to push him in the water so bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, just push him. It'd be more fun.
Yeah, and that would have made sense for her character too.
Yes, and it would have been that whole because it really didn't make like it annoyed me. I didn't really care for the scene.
Mm-hmm.
It was useless for me.
Yeah.
But that's why it'd been more better if she would have just pushed him
Mm-hmm.
or tried to push him or something. I mean, do something. I want to see more action.
Right.
And I don't mean having sex. I mean
Mm.
more of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that last scene was just Andie and Pacey for the episode, so that was it.
Well, yeah, because that's when they talked, and then that's when because you said they talked earlier. That's when they talked, and okay, they all thought it was so sweet how he waited like
For her
all
to wake up.
night,
Yeah.
and yes,
Mm-hmm.
What kind of boyfriend waits that long in high school?
Not many.
He's just so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then he just holds her.
Yeah.
And that's how. See, they finally got the ending right of a show. Normally, the end on Dawson and Joey.
Yeah.
For once, it wasn't them rowing the boat away.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Pacey holding Andie.
Yeah.
The best that they could have done.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because remember the last time when Dawson kicked the ladder and I didn't like that was the ending?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the ending to be Pacey and Andie dancing and kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I finally have the
Yeah.
Pacey and Andie.
Yeah, it's just because, they usually go with Dawson and Joey because they're the main characters.
Why no? They usually start the episode
Mm-hmm.
and then they usually finish it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? They didn't.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, all shows should do that once in a while at least with their characters.
Yeah, switch it. Because think what? They're all main characters.
Mm-hmm.
At least the 4 of them.
Yeah.
So make, some of them have the beginning or the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's just
Because
Dawson's name is in the title too.
I know,
so.
but people get annoyed if the only opening is that person.
Right.
Or the only closing is that person.
Mm-hmm.
You need other people to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it gets annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like Grey's Anatomy. It's good that they have other people.
Yeah.
Like, some people do the voiceover sometimes, because I know she usually does it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes other people do, like if it's their story.
Right.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And the opening is sometimes other people. So you just need that. I'm sorry, but you just need to shake up sometimes of other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not the only character. Yes, it's their name, but that's it. What do you think of that?
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah. So
what's your high and low?
well, low is definitely the whole thing with Andie. And then the high was just I don't know, it was sweet what Jen was trying to do to help Gail, but it was kind of a reach, especially Nicole there. But oh yeah, because she did mention how Gail was like she had hoped it wouldn't be more like so parent trap, esque or whatever. But yeah, it was a nice thought to do.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
Jen's only 16.
Yeah.
I mean, what can she really do to get them back together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially if she doesn't know how, like, Mitch feels, because she's living with Gail.
Yeah.
She only knows one side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Not much really happened in this episode, so it's hard to say for a high. What about you?
Okay. So the high was... okay, so the high was obviously Pacey.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll add Jack to it. Yes. Well, I'm sorry, but the acting just, like, blew me away. I'm saying from him and Andie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They both did a great job.
Yeah, they did.
In their performance into this episode. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying.
They did, yeah. I agree.
Think about it. She did good having a breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
and he did good too. So there you go. So that would be my high. My low. Okay, my low. It has to be Pacey's sweater.
What about his sweater?
My low.
What happened to his sweater? I didn't even notice anything.
It was ugly as heck.
I didn't know we could talk about clothes.
That's my low. Literally, I just kept looking at it and I'm like, brown and
Well, it's Andie's favorite color. I mean, he didn't know that,
he didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so ugly. It was bothering me.
I didn't think you really cared about clothes that much that it would bother you like that.
Well, Dawson's clothes bother me.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I always say Pacey looks good, but it's a good thing his face was still there to look at because the little sweater shirt thing was not doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you'd get a kick out of that being my low. I didn't like it. Why did it have to be that ugly?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently you weren't looking at it because
Yeah, I
it was
wasn't.
ugly.
With everything going on, I definitely wasn't, yeah.
And then it was through the whole episode I had to suffer through the whole thing with it. I was like, come on. Couldn't take it. Everyone else had better clothes than him.
Yeah.
They
well,
must not have liked him that day. So they gave him the ugliest clothes. Here, this episode, usually it's Dawson that gets the ugly clothes, but this time he actually had a suit on, so Pacey gets the ugly clothes. So yes, the low Pacey's clothes.
Okay, and then what would you rate the episode?
Okay, so I know there wasn't really much going on, but not a lot of people annoyed me in this episode. So, Dawson usually annoys me,
Mm-hmm.
but he actually did not bother me. Can you believe that?
Yeah. I mean, no, I can't, but we didn't do a lot. It was like everybody else doing something this time, yeah.
No, nobody was really doing that much besides like Pacey, Andie, and maybe Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else was just kind of doing little stuff.
Yeah.
But so nobody was really bothering me that much. And then the ones who were doing the most, I think, had the best performances.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I would rate this an 8 because nobody bothered me, and it was actually beginning to end good to watch. Like there was really no bad parts that were draining and should have been cut out.
Well, for you, yeah.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
would
I'm
probably,
just saying, like, I
yeah,
could sit through it without yawning and falling asleep,
right,
which
yeah.
most episodes I cannot believe I have to sit through.
Mm-hmm.
Think about some of them. You just want to pause and come back later.
Mm-hmm.
What would you rate it?
Like a 6.5.
Finally! I beat you in the scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's your best and worst?
Well, of course, you'll love this one. My best was Pacey
What? It's not Dawson?
with everything he was doing with Andie. And then the worst was just Nicole. Because, she was talking about Dawson and then just back and forth with him. It was just really boring and exhausting.
You're funny.
What about you?
So my best
Mm-hmm.
Pacey.
Yep.
Didn't you see I didn't get excited over it?
Yeah,
I'm
but
just kidding. Of course it's Pacey.
mm-hmm.
Because besides Andie, he did the most.
Yeah.
And he was just so supportive. Again, what 16-year-old would do that?
I don't know.
I don't think very many.
Mm-hmm.
And he just cares and he just loves her so much, And it is just breaking my heart to see. And then the worst was Jack.
Why? Because he didn't say anything, like you said before?
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No, I wanted that reaction from you. I thought you were gonna be like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say anything. I'm just kidding. No, my worst was Nicole. Can you believe I didn't say Dawson? Yeah, the worst was Nicole because okay, that is her student. Why is she going back and forth with him?
I don't know.
she was bothering me, and then she was bothering me with like Gail, and she was just not needed.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done without her in this episode. What? I liked her in the past of like, bringing her to the wedding to make Gail jealous. But it's like, okay, I'm now tired of this jealousy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just move on. If
Yeah.
you're going to put Mitch and Gail back together, just put them back together.
Right.
Like, we've had enough of this. It's now season 2 of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, that's why. It would have been one thing if she kept her mouth shut. But she doesn't know how to keep. Mitch didn't really say anything at the table.
True, yeah, he didn't.
So, I wanted. First of all, Mitch didn't really stand up for Dawson that
yeah.
much. I mean, yeah, at one point he said something, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really anything of like, don't talk bad about my son. Like,
Yeah.
not like all defensive of what you should do.
Yeah, or
If
that
that's
like
your son.
yeah, or that like he's young, he still has like a lot to learn about filmmaking. So like give him a break,
Well, I mean, yeah, the only thing he said was, you're a teacher. Aren't you supposed to,
encourage him.
yeah, and be
Yeah.
supportive? It's
Mhm.
like, that I'm like, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing he said, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, she should have just kept her mouth shut. I mean, she's on a date with them all,
Mm-hmm.
which is so awkward and funny.
Yeah.
But just keep your mouth shut. Sometimes it's better not to say anything, and she should
Mhm.
have.
Yep.
All right, so what is the next episode called?
Episode 21, how it's, said kind of weird, but like it's like changes.
I wanted you to say it was funny.
Yeah. That was weird.
Cha changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we only have 2 more left of the season.
Alrighty. Yay, season 3 is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to see your reaction.
Yeah, because I have not
Because
seen.
you are a Dawson lover.
No.
So I can't wait to see this.
No, I'm not a Dawson lover.
Okay. It is season 2. At the end of season 2, you are still supporting Dawson.
I'm supporting Pacey too. He's been
Bull
my
crap.
best. He's been my best for some time.
Whatever. Anytime I say it's Pacey, you all giving me a hard time. You and JC.
Just because we already knew the answer.
I know, but you say it's a reach. Or no, JC says it's a reach. if I say Pacey is my favorite.
No, see, I don't believe it's a reach.
Hmm?
I don't believe it's a reach.
Anytime I say Pacey's the best.
No, I'm just not surprised, that's all.
Oh my God.
Because you just love everything he does.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens in season 3 for you. I cannot wait to see when Dawson is the worst. If you choose him,
Okay.
that'll be the best to find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.